Dear students, let's continue our discussion on trigonometric functions. Now, today we shall find the trigonometric values of some standard angles. Okay, trigonometric values of standard angles. Let me consider a circle with center at origin and radius r. Okay, so let me take this circle. I'll draw a better circle like this. Consider a circle with the center at origin and radius r. This is a positive x-axis, positive y-axis, negative x-axis and negative y-axis. Okay. Now, I'll choose one point. Let P of x comma y be a point on this circle. Pxy be a point on this circle. Let this angle XOP, let this angle be theta radians. Now from P I will draw a perpendicular to x-axis. From P I am drawing a perpendicular to x-axis. Let me call that point as A. Angle AOP is equal to theta. Angle AOP equal to theta. If this point is in first quadrant, this is x, this is y. Okay. Now from this right angle triangle, sin theta is equal to y by r, cos theta equal to x by r, etc. All those things you know already. Now, angle AOP is equal to x-axis. Because we are considering this positive x-axis as the initial line. If I cover one full circle, complete one revolution, then the total angle covered is 2 pi. Therefore, angle in a right angle, that is that 2 pi is divided into 4 equal parts. So, this angle, let me call this point as B, C and D. Now, angle AOB, that will be equal to pi by 2. In terms of radians, it is pi by 2 radians. In terms of degrees, it is 90 degree. Then angle AOC, that's equal to pi radian, that is 180 degrees. Angle AOC. Okay? I'll call this as A. Let this point be M. That PM is perpendicular to x-axis. A is the point on the circle. Okay? Then what about angle AOD? Angle AOD, that is equal to 3 pi by 2 radians. Pi by 2, from here to here pi by 2, from here to here another pi by 2. Pi by 2 plus pi by 2 will give you pi, and from there another pi by 2. Pi plus pi by 2, that will give you 3 pi by 2, 270 degree. Then angle in a total full circle. So if I come back to that position, AOA, so that is from here I cover one full circle and come back to its original position. That angle is pi. That angle is 2 pi, total angle 360 degree or 2 pi radians. Now, this is a circle with the center at origin and radius r. This point A is a point on x-axis. So, what are the coordinates of A? The coordinates, the x coordinate and the y coordinate I want. Here, this point A is at a distance of r units from the origin. So, its x coordinate is r and y coordinate will be 0. The coordinates of A is r comma 0 and the coordinates of B is a point on positive y axis. So, its x coordinate is 0, y coordinate is r because this distance is r, that OB is also the radius. OA, OP, OB, OC, OD, they are all the radius only. So, B, the coordinates of B is 0 comma r. Then the coordinates of C is a point on negative x-axis. Observe, it is a point on negative x-axis. So, its coordinates are minus r comma 0. It is a point on x-axis. You already studied the coordinate geometry in 10th standard. If a point is on x-axis, then its y coordinate is 0. Similarly, if a point is on y-axis, then its x coordinate is 0. So, coordinates of C is minus r comma 0. Then the coordinates of D is nothing but 0 comma minus r. 0 comma minus r. Then these angles, that is angle AOB, angle AOC, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, they are called quadrant angles. Quadrant angles. Quadrant angles means they are on the boundary. Say here, this is the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. So if it is this line, this angle AOB, that is called quadrant angle. We cannot say this position, it may be either in first quadrant or it is on the boundary of first quadrant and second quadrant. And this OC, this line, it is on the boundary of second quadrant and third quadrant. So such angles are quadrant angles. The actual definition is an integral multiple of pi by 2 is called a quadrant angle. Integral multiple of pi by 2, that is, if I multiply pi by 2 with an integer, say pi by 2 into 1 will give you pi by 2, that is a quadrant angle. Pi by 2 into 2, pi by 2 into 2 will give you pi, that is nothing but 180 degree, that is a quadrant angle. Pi by 2 into 3 will give you 3 pi by 2, that is another quadrant angle. Any multiple of pi by 2 is called a quadrant angle. Now I am interested in knowing what is the value of what are the trigonometric values at those quadrant angles, okay, and what happens there, whether they are positive or negative. See, in which, depending on the quadrant where that angle lies, okay, that angle lies in which quadrant, depending on that we have seen how to find whether the given trigonometric function is positive or negative at that particular angle, okay. But I have not told you what happens when it is on the boundary, okay, whether it is positive or negative, that I am going to discuss now, okay. So first I would like to find out the value of the trigonometric functions at 0 degree, okay. So I am bringing this theta to 0. What I do is, I will bring this point P closer and closer to A. I am bringing this point towards A. So as I bring that point towards A, this line OP, observe here, this is the line OP, this line is coming closer and closer to A. As it comes close to A, this angle theta goes on decreasing, and by the time this point P reaches A, that angle will be 0, okay. So now I want to know what is the value of sine 0. Sine 0, sine theta is defined as opposite by hypotenuse. So y by r, in this case sine theta is equal to y by r, right. So now here what is happening here, you just observe, as I bring this point closer and closer to A, that theta reduces, this length y also reduces, this length x increases. See, the point instead of here, if I take the point here, right, then if I draw here, this will be x, that x goes on increasing and y goes on decreasing. By the time that point P reaches A, x will become r and y will become 0. This is y. So as I come closer and closer to A, that length y goes on decreasing, and at a point when this P reaches A, length of y will be equal to 0, y will be 0 and x will be equal to r, okay. So sine theta is defined as opposite by hypotenuse, y by r. Now y is 0, r is r only, 0 by r is equal to 0. Therefore sine 0 is equal to 0. Then cos 0, I will just find out sine and cos, remaining thing can be obtained just by taking their reciprocals, and tan also sine by cos, in that way you can do it. So cos 0, what happens to cos 0? Cos theta is defined as x by r, that is adjacent by hypotenuse. Now as this point comes towards A, this x goes on increasing and it will be OA by r. OA is nothing but r itself. So you get r by r, that's equal to 1. Therefore sine 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1. Okay. Now I will go to pi by 2, the other quadrant angle. Okay. So I want to know what is the value of sine pi by 2. Okay. Sine pi by 2. Now what I do is, I will bring this point P towards B. I am moving this point towards B. As I move along the circumference, P will move along the circumference of the circle towards B. When it moves towards B, the value of x goes on decreasing. See here, instead of this, first it will come here, then this length will be x, then it will come here, then this length will be x, and when it comes here, this length will be x. So as the point P reaches B, that x, when P moves towards B, theta increases and theta tends to pi by 2, theta approaches pi by 2. Value of x goes on decreasing and that x tends to 0. So as I'll write here, as theta tends to pi by 2, x tends to 0. And what happens to y? This is y. As P moves along this direction, this length goes on increasing and y will tend to r. Y tends to r. Okay. So sin pi by 2. Sin theta is defined as opposite by hypotenuse. So y by r. Now y is tending to r. So it will become r by r. That is equal to 1. This r remains fixed. That is the radius of that circle. So wherever I move this point, only x and y will vary. That r will be fixed radius, which is always positive. So sin pi by 2 is equal to 1. Now cos pi by 2. Cos pi by 2 is nothing but, cos theta is nothing but x by r. Now as theta tends to pi by 2, x will tend to 0. So x by r will now become 0 by r. 0 by r is nothing but 0. So sin pi by 2 is 0, cos pi by 2 is also, sin pi by 2 is 1 and cos pi by 2 is 0. Okay. Then I want sin pi. Sin pi. Okay. Now theta moves towards pi. This theta will move towards pi. Okay. So I will redraw this. Okay. So let me take a P here, x comma y. This is theta. Okay. This is moving towards this point C. Theta tends to pi. Then this length y will be positive only, but x is negative. Length is positive, but since it is along the negative x-axis, that x will be negative. Y is positive only. In the second quadrant, x is negative, y is positive. This is r. R is always positive. Okay. Now this is y, x is negative. As theta tends to pi, as this point P moves towards C, y value goes on decreasing and y will become 0 when P reaches this point. And what happens to x? X goes on increasing and x will be same as r, but it is along negative x-axis, so x will become minus r. Only this x is negative, x will become minus r, this r, radius r will remain as r only. Okay. Sin theta is defined as y by r, y is tending to 0. So I will write like this, as theta tends to pi, x tends to minus r and y tends to 0. Therefore sin pi is nothing but, sin theta is nothing but y by r, y is 0. So 0 by r is equal to 0. Then cos theta is equal to x by r, x is approaching minus r. So you get minus r divided by r, that's equal to minus 1. Cos pi is minus 1. Then now I will consider 3 pi by 2, the other quadrant angle. So remember this, sin pi is 0, cos pi is minus 1. 3 pi by 2. So theta is moving towards 3 pi by 2. Let me take P here, P of xy. Okay. This is x, this is y, both are negative now in the third quadrant. This angle is theta, that theta is approaching, it is going towards D. So when theta approaches D, when this point P of xy approaches D, theta will tend to 3 pi by 2. and as this moves along, x value goes on decreasing, x will become 0, and y will go to this position, that y will tend to minus r because it is in the negative direction, negative y axis. So as theta tends to 3 pi by 2, x will tend to 0, okay, and y will tend to minus r. It will come to this position, the coordinates of this point, as you know, 0 comma minus r. So y will tend to minus r. So now what happens? Sin 3 pi by 2. Sin theta is defined as opposite by hypotenuse. So y by r. Y is tending to minus r. So it will become minus r by r, which is equal to minus 1. Then cos 3 pi by 2. Cos 3 pi by 2, that's equal to x by r. What is x here? In this case, x is approaching 0. So you get 0 by r, which is equal to 0. Sin 3 pi by 2 is minus 1. Cos 3 pi by 2 is 0. Okay. Next. Sin 2 pi, I'll cover one full circle. Okay. So it covers one full circle. Let me take a p here, p of x comma y. Okay, this angle is theta, and now this p I am bringing closer and closer to a. So that means theta is tending towards 2 pi. Then when it comes here, x will approach r. When this point p comes towards a, x is equal to r. And what happens to y? Y initially it is negative, but as it comes along, it goes on decreasing and it becomes 0. So y will tend to 0. Okay. So sin 2 pi, that's equal to y by r. Y is 0. 0 by r, that is 0. And cos 2 pi is equal to x by r. X is approaching r. X is positive now because it's along positive direction of x axis. So you get r by r, that's equal to 1. Okay, so we got the values of sine and cos at the quadrant angles. Quadrant angles means angle which is a multiple of pi by 2. Okay, so now you asked me, some students asked, what happens, sir, if for the quadrant angles, whether they are positive or negative, how do we identify? So you look at this, a circle with center at origin and radius r. Say if it's along positive y axis. See, this is the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant, you know. Now on this, whether sine is positive, cos is positive, etc. Look here, sin theta positive here, then cannot be negative at this point. So it is positive at that point also. Then cos, positive in the first quadrant, negative in the second quadrant. Here positive, here negative, means it should be 0 at this point. Okay, tan. Again, after that, you look at here at 180 degree. Sine, here negative, sine is positive in the second quadrant and negative in the third quadrant. Here positive, here negative, means sin theta should be 0 at this point. Okay, then cos is negative here, in the second quadrant it is negative, in the third quadrant also cos is negative. Therefore at 180 degree or at pi, here also cos should be negative. Then coming here, cos theta negative here, positive here. In the third quadrant cos theta is negative and fourth quadrant cos theta is positive. Negative to positive means at this point it should be equal to 0. At 3 pi by 2, cos theta is equal to 0. Then sine, if I take, in the third quadrant it is negative, in the fourth quadrant it is negative. Here also negative, here also negative, means it should be negative at 3 pi by 2. Okay. So once you know about sine and cos, remaining things can be obtained easily, because tan theta can be defined as sin theta by cos theta, and secant theta, cosecant theta, they are the reciprocals of cos theta and sin theta respectively. Okay. See, now if I start at this point and cover one full circle, or let me take this point P. Okay. So this angle is theta. I'll start at P and I'll cover one full circle. That means I'll make one revolution. One revolution means 2 pi radians. Okay. If I make one full revolution, then it will come back to its original position, and the value of the trigonometric function is measured based on that ratio, whether cos theta x by r, sin theta y by r, etc. So for that, the position of that point is important. So if I cover one full circle, then and I'll come back to that position itself, so that the value of the trigonometric function remains the same if instead of theta, if I take one full circle and another theta. That means if I take 2 pi plus theta, then there is no change in the value of that trigonometric function, which I have told you already. That is, for a given angle, you keep on adding 360 degree or keep on subtracting 360 degree, there is no change in the value of that trigonometric function, right? Same thing here. In terms of radians, you for any given angle, you add 2 pi as many times as you wish. There is no change in the value of that trigonometric function. You keep on adding 2 pi or keep on subtracting 2 pi, there is no change in the value of the trigonometric function. So that in general can be written in this way: sine of 2n pi plus theta is equal to sine theta for all n belongs to z. So if n is any integer, put n equal to 1, that means 2 pi plus theta. Sine of 2 pi plus theta equal to sine theta. Put n equal to 2, you are getting sine of 4 pi plus theta. Sine of 4 pi plus theta is same as sine theta. Put n equal to 3, you get sine 6 pi plus theta. Sine 6 pi plus theta is same as sine theta. Okay? Then, similarly, and if you can take negative integers also, n belongs to z. That means that n is an integer. Okay? So integer means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, etc. So if I take minus 1 also, minus 2 pi plus theta, sine of minus 2 pi plus theta is same as sine theta. That means from that theta you are subtracting 2 pi. Okay? Or if I put n equal to minus 2, sine of minus 4 pi plus theta. Minus 4 pi plus theta is same as theta minus 4 pi. That means from that angle theta I am subtracting 4 pi. So you can add or subtract 2 pi as many times, or any multiple of 2 pi or any multiple of 2 pi. If I add or subtract, then there is no change in the value of the trigonometric function. So cos 2n pi plus theta is also equal to cos theta, where n can be any integer. Okay? Next. Okay. Now let us say when that sin theta becomes 0, sin theta, when it will become 0, at a 0 it is 0. Okay. Sin theta is 0 if that y is 0. Sin theta is defined as y by r, right? If y is 0, then theta is 0. Sin theta is equal to 0, right? So y by r, 0 by r, because r cannot be negative. Sorry, r cannot be 0. If r is 0 means there is no circle at all. Okay. So if that point is here, then y is 0. If that point is here, then also y is 0. That means sin theta is equal to 0 if theta is equal to, point is here means theta is 0, right? Or if the point is here means theta is equal to pi. Again it will come here means 2 pi. It will come here again, that is 0. At 0, sin theta is 0. At pi, sin theta is 0. At 2 pi, sin theta is 0. And cover again here, come here, 2 pi plus pi, that means 3 pi. At all these points, sin theta is 0. Sin theta is 0 if theta is equal to 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, etc. Not only positive values, you can take negative values also. Plus or minus pi, plus or minus 2 pi, plus or minus 3 pi, plus or minus 4 pi, etc. So from this, I can write sin theta is equal to 0 if theta is equal to n pi, n belongs to z. Theta is equal to n pi. Theta equal to n pi, put n equal to 1, n is any integer. Put n equal to 0, you get theta equal to 0. Put n equal to 1, you get theta equal to pi. Put n equal to minus 1, you are going to get theta is equal to minus pi. Put n equal to minus 2, theta equal to minus 2 pi. Sine of minus 2 pi is 0. So, what we are trying to say here is that sin n pi is equal to 0. For that angle, if that angle is a multiple of pi, n into pi, then sin theta is equal to 0. Sin theta is 0 whenever theta is equal to n pi. Then look at cos theta. Cos theta, when it will be equal to 0? See, cos theta is defined as x by r. Cos theta is equal to x by r. So, cos theta will be 0 if x is 0. 0 by r, you get 0. X is 0 means x can be 0, x coordinate can be 0 only if the point is on y axis. Point is on y axis means either pi by 2 or 3 pi by 2. Again, if you cover one more circle, then 5 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2, 9 pi by 2, 11 pi by 2, etc. In other words, at all odd multiples of pi by 2, odd multiples of pi by 2, what do you mean by that? I am multiplying pi by 2 by an odd number. Pi by 2 into 1 will give you pi by 2. Pi by 2 into 3, an odd multiple of pi by 2. 3 pi by 2, 270 degree. There also cos is 0. Then 5 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2, 9 pi by 2, 11 pi by 2, 13 pi by 2, etc. At all odd multiples of pi by 2, cos theta is equal to 0. So, I will write like this. Cos theta is equal to 0 if theta is equal to plus or minus pi by 2, plus or minus 3 pi by 2, plus or minus 5 pi by 2, etc. So, we can rewrite it in this way. Cos theta is 0 if theta is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, n belongs to z. If I put n as 0, I will get theta equal to pi by 2. If I put n as 1, 2 plus 1, 3 pi by 2. Put n equal to 2, 5 pi by 2. Put n equal to 3, 7 pi by 2. Put n equal to minus 1. If I put n as minus 1, I am getting minus pi by 2. Put n equal to minus 2, I will get minus 3 pi by 2, etc. So, whenever theta is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, where n is an integer, 2n plus 1 into pi by 2 means odd multiple of pi by 2. Whenever theta is an odd multiple of pi by 2, cos theta is equal to 0. Okay, this much you have to remember. Okay, so now with the help of this, I'll define with the help of these two, sine and cos, I'll define the other 4 trigonometric functions in this way. Okay, say tan x is equal to sin x by cos x. The question is it defined for all values of x? The answer is no. This is not defined for all values of x, because in a fraction, whenever the denominator becomes 0, it is not defined. So, tan x will be equal to sin x divided by cos x if x is not equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. Did you understand this step? Tan x is equal to sin x by cos x. Whenever cos x is not equal to 0, cos x should not be equal to 0. Cos x should not be equal to 0 means x should not be equal to pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, etc. In other words, x should not be equal to any odd multiple of pi by 2. So, if x is any odd multiple of pi by 2, then cos x will become 0. Okay. So, therefore, tan x we can write it as sin x by cos x only if x is not equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. And that is the reason in your table, I am sorry, in our trigonometric table values, you must have seen 90 degree at 90 degree, sin 90 degree is equal to 1, cos 90 degree is equal to 0, and tan 90 degree not defined, you have seen. Okay. Tan 90 degree in terms of radians, tan pi by 2 is not defined, because tan theta is defined as sin theta by cos theta. At pi by 2, what happens? Cos theta becomes 0. Denominator becomes 0. So, at pi by 2, if I take x as 90 degree, denominator is 0. So, tan 90 degree is equal to sin 90 divided by cos 90. If I write sin 90 is 1, cos 90 is 0, 1 by 0 is not defined. It is an indeterminate form. Okay, it is not defined. Hence, tan x is defined only when x is not equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. Then, secant x. Secant x we can write it as 1 by cos x. If again here also this is defined only if cos x should not be equal to 0, right? Cos x should not be equal to 0. That means x should not be equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. N belongs to Z. Okay. Then cosecant x. Cosecant x is equal to 1 by sin x. Okay. Again here we have to take care that denominator is non-zero. Denominator will be 0 when x is equal to 0 or pi or 2 pi or 3 pi etc. See, when sin x becomes 0, when sin theta will become 0. Sin theta will become 0 if theta is equal to 0 or pi plus or minus pi plus or minus 2 pi plus or minus 3 pi etc. Or in general sin theta is 0 whenever theta is equal to n pi. So, cosecant x will denominator here will be, whenever this will be 0, this function is not defined. Okay. So, this will be defined only if this denominator is non-zero. That means x should not be equal to n pi, because whenever x is n pi, sin x will become 0. Okay. Then cot x. Cot x is equal to cos x by sin x. Cos x by sin x. Again here this is not defined if sin x is 0. So, you have to remove all those values of x where sin x becomes 0. Sin x will become 0 when x is equal to n pi. So, I do not want sin x to be 0. So, I am writing x is not equal to n pi. X is not equal to n pi. Okay. So, in this way we can define the other 4 trigonometric functions with the help of sin x and cos x. Okay. In the next class, we will discuss the values of the trigonometric functions at some standard angles like 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, etc. Okay. Although you have studied them in your high school, let us briefly discuss them in our next class. Okay. With that, I will stop this class. Thank you.